Howdy YouTube. So today I figured we'd do another how-to tutorial. Now, if you've caught one of my live streams, which I stream every Wednesday and Friday over at twitch.tv/Z8202, link will be in the description, you'll notice one thing that's become part of my overlay, which is that merch animated scroll bar. Now, it is a common thing that a lot of people have, but it's something that not a lot of people know how to make. I've made a lot of versions of it, so I figured today I'll show you guys the basics of how to do it and teach you guys how to modify it if you choose to. Let's go ahead and hop right into this. And here we are inside of After Effects. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this about 500 by 500. Ideally, you want to make it a space that you have set aside for it. If you're doing it for social media, 1,000 by 1,000, a perfect square. So we're going to set our background color. I'm going to set it to a nice little warm blue color. You know, something where we're not going to see it though. Okay? And first thing we're going to do is we're going to go right click, new, solid. We're going to make this that same nice blue color. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're just going to do that, okay? And we're going to save this position. Now, the version I'm going to make today is 15 seconds long, but basically this is going to slide in. So I'm going to put a keyframe there for my position, and I'm going to take it over to the left. And I'm going to press shift and then F9. And what that's going to do is it's going to smooth it out. So it does that. I'm actually going to make it a second before it slides. So it should just be. Now, this next part is very inclusive depending on what you're doing this for. You need to have your images for your merchandise that are transparent showcases, or they can be the actual just image themselves for it. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So what I'm going to import here is I'm going to import 3 pieces of merch. This isn't my merch. This is not my own merch, but I'm going to import a couple pieces, and I'm just going to show you guys how to do this with 3 pieces, okay? And this is going to seem pretty simple. So let's say I want to do these in order, right? So these two, I'm going to do a version. Basically, what I want this to do is I want this to start off like this, okay? So this keyframe, this is going to come in with this. So I'm going to mark the position as -384. You basically want to copy it the same way. And then it's going to get here at the same time. So you got to add keyframes because I'm slow with this. And then it'll slide in at the same time. We're going to add easy ease to those. There you go. I'm actually going to make the shirt show up just a tad bit later, so then it shows in, right? And I want it to show, let's say I want it to show for 2 seconds, okay? So then we'll mark a keyframe 2 seconds in, easy ease that, and then the next second you want to set it to 0. Now you're gonna pick your next item. You're gonna go to this keyframe. You're gonna make sure it's set to 0 on the keyframe where you have it at 100% for the one for your first one. You want your next one set to 0% at the last second it's being displayed, and then all you're gonna do is set it to 100 right here. And what that's gonna do is I have to do one thing real quick. There we go. And the only thing and this is what happens. So it basically, it does the little, it floats in and it floats back out. Now if you want to make, so you have that version. That's version 1. You do that, you would repeat that for all your items, etc., etc. Now there is option 2, which I use option 2 personally, and it's going to be very obvious why. So we're going to make all of them come from the left. So we're going to mark positions. We're going to go 2 seconds into showing it. We're going to mark the position of the top one. And this one, we're going to just send it to the right. And as that's happening, we're going to set this position. We're going to set it right there. So you want it to be exactly where the other one was. And I need to get the measurement for the first place. So -384. Wrong thing. -384. And basically, I'm going to hide this. So basically what's going to happen so far, what we have is it's going to slide in. The merch is going to slide in. And then that's going to slide out. And that's going to replace it. Now, you would repeat that with all of them. Now, let's say I have these two, right? I'm just going to use these two as my example. Let's say I have both of these, right? I want it to show for 2 seconds. So I mark the position. And then I send it to the exact same place as the first one. Right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to mark both of these. And we're going to have them go back to negative 384 right there. Now, we're going to offset them a little bit. So how we're going to do that is we're going to select one and just drag it a couple seconds back. And basically what's going to happen is you need to mark multiple keyframes. Why? Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, okay, that's how I messed up. So you need to make sure all the keyframes, and they're gonna do that like stacked flutter effect. If you want to, I'd even recommend spacing them a little more, like this. And then it looks really cool when they start going across, because then it shows all the items as it goes back. This is very easy to add text to. If you want to add text to it, all you would do is you right-click, new text. Add your text. I'm gonna just say like, I'm gonna just say Teespring, etc. Right? I'm just gonna say merch line, just something really generic. I would put like your actual like the text for your thing, and all I do is I make a keyframe of the opacity when everything's here. I keyframe that, and then I make it fade in. And then I have to get the position right here because it is way too high right now. So we're going to drag this down. And we're going to scale it down just a little bit. And then bring the position up a little bit more. And basically what's going to happen is it's going to fade in. And there you go. That's really all it is. So yeah, hopefully you guys find that useful. I would love to see what you make with this effect because honestly, it's not that hard to do. And you can do it with as many items as you want. I just used 2 items as my example. But I've also done it with 15 items. All I would say is make sure your timing isn't like less than a second an item because it's going to go really fast. My personal favorite out of the 2 is definitely the scale where you like make it pop in and out of other pieces. But yeah, that's all I have for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.